What if I told you that some cars didn't just break speed records? They actually changed the direction of the entire automotive world. Not every supercar is remembered simply because it was fast. Some become legends because they introduced ideas so revolutionary that every car that came after had to adapt. These are the machines that pushed engineers to rethink physics, designers to dream bigger, and competitors to chase impossible goals. They shocked the world when they launched, and years later, we can still feel their influence on the roads today. From raw analog monsters to futuristic electric rockets, these are the supercars that didn't just dominate their era, they transformed it. Let's start with a car that many enthusiasts consider the purest expression of speed and passion, the Ferrari F40. When it arrived in the late 1980s, it felt almost rebellious. Most performance cars were moving toward comfort and luxury, but the F40 went in the opposite direction. It was loud, stripped down, and brutally honest. There was no power steering to save you, no advanced electronics to hide mistakes, and very little insulation between the driver and the machine. What you got instead was raw connection, a twin-turbo engine, lightweight body panels, and a feeling that you were driving something barely tamed from the racetrack. The F40 changed expectations because it reminded the world that emotion mattered just as much as numbers. It became a symbol of purity, influencing generations of performance cars that tried to capture that same feeling of mechanical honesty. Soon after, another legend arrived and completely rewrote the engineering rulebook, the McLaren F1 from McLaren Automotive. The McLaren F1 wasn't just another fast car, it was an obsession turned into reality. Designed by Gordon Murray, it featured a central driving position inspired by race cars, which instantly made it unique. The use of carbon fiber was groundbreaking at the time, helping keep weight incredibly low while increasing stiffness and safety. Even the engine bay was lined with gold to reflect heat, a level of detail that showed how seriously every decision was taken. But what really changed the industry was the idea that engineering precision could outperform brute force. The F1 became the fastest production car in the world without relying on turbochargers or excessive electronic aids. It set a philosophical benchmark: perfection through balance, not excess. Then came a supercar that transformed design language for an entire decade: the Lamborghini Murcielago from Lamborghini. The Murcielago represented the beginning of a new era for Lamborghini under modern ownership, blending wild Italian styling with improved engineering reliability. It kept the dramatic scissor doors and outrageous proportions people expected, but it introduced stability systems and all-wheel drive that made massive power easier to control. More than anything, it proved that a supercar could be both a visual spectacle and a usable machine. Its design influenced not only future Lamborghinis but also sports cars worldwide, encouraging brands to embrace aggressive angular styling. It became the poster car of the 2000s, showing that image and emotion were just as powerful as performance figures. The Porsche 959 from Porsche was years ahead of its time. While many rivals focused on raw engine output, the 959 introduced advanced all-wheel drive systems, adjustable suspension, and electronic controls that were nearly science fiction in the 1980s. It demonstrated that computers could make cars faster and safer without sacrificing excitement. The innovations developed for the 959 eventually spread across the automotive world, influencing everything from everyday sedans to modern hypercars. It wasn't just a fast machine, it was a glimpse into the future. As the 2000s progressed, speed became a new battleground, and no car represented that better than the Bugatti Veyron. Created by Bugatti, the goal seemed impossible: build a car that could comfortably exceed 400 kilometers per h, while still offering luxury and reliability. Many thought it couldn't be done. Yet the Veyron achieved exactly that, thanks to its massive quad-turbo engine and an engineering approach that ignored conventional limits. Cooling systems, aerodynamics, and materials had to be reinvented to handle its extreme performance. The Veyron changed the industry by showing what unlimited ambition and budget could accomplish. Suddenly, top speed wars intensified, and manufacturers realized that pushing boundaries created global headlines and brand prestige unlike anything else. While speed was one direction, efficiency and innovation were beginning to shape another. The arrival of the Ferrari LaFerrari shocked enthusiasts who believed hybrid technology belonged only in eco-friendly commuter cars. Ferrari proved the opposite. By combining a roaring V12 with electric assistance, the LaFerrari delivered instant torque, sharper responsiveness, and astonishing performance. It changed perceptions overnight. Hybrid systems were no longer compromises. They became tools for performance enhancement. This shift influenced almost every high-end manufacturer, opening the door for a new generation of electrified supercars. At the same moment, another groundbreaking hybrid entered the scene, the Porsche 918 Spyder. Unlike many performance cars that focus purely on speed, the 918 demonstrated versatility. It could drive quietly in electric mode through city streets and then unleash unbelievable power on a racetrack. This dual personality hinted at the future of performance vehicles, where sustainability and excitement could coexist. The engineering lessons learned from the 918 influenced not only Porsche's own lineup, but also industry thinking about how performance cars could evolve in an environmentally conscious world. As technology advanced further, a new contender emerged from an unexpected place: Croatia. The Rimac Nevera from Rimac Automobili completely challenged traditional ideas of what a supercar should be. Instead of a screaming engine, the Nevera delivered silent but violent acceleration thanks to its electric powertrain. With instant torque and sophisticated software controlling each wheel independently, it achieved performance figures that seemed impossible only a few years earlier. More importantly, it proved that new companies could disrupt an industry historically dominated by century-old brands. The Nissan GT-R from Nissan earned its nickname Godzilla by delivering supercar-level performance at a fraction of the cost. Advanced electronics, clever all-wheel drive, and precision engineering allowed it to compete with cars far more expensive. This changed consumer expectations forever. Suddenly, buyers realized that performance didn't need to come exclusively from European exotics. The GT-R pushed other manufacturers to rethink pricing, technology integration, and accessibility, proving that innovation could democratize speed. Then there's a car that became more than just a machine. It became a cultural icon, the Lamborghini Aventador. In an era increasingly shaped by efficiency regulations and downsized engines, the Aventador unapologetically celebrated the naturally aspirated V12. It combined futuristic design with theatrical performance, becoming a staple of social media, gaming culture, and automotive dreams worldwide. Its influence extended beyond engineering. It shaped how younger audiences perceive supercars in the digital age. The Aventador proved that emotion, drama, and presence still matter just as much as innovation. We also can't ignore the impact of the Porsche Carrera GT, a machine that reminded the world how thrilling and demanding analog performance could be. With a high-revving V10 and a manual gearbox, it delivered one of the purest driving experiences ever created. The Carrera GT arrived just before electronic aids became dominant, making it a final love letter to traditional driving skills. Its reputation for being challenging only added to its legend, reinforcing the idea that supercars should command respect. Another turning point came with the Pagani Zonda from Pagani. Built by a small company with obsessive attention to detail, the Zonda demonstrated that craftsmanship and artistry could compete with larger manufacturers. Every component felt sculpted, turning the car into rolling art. It redefined expectations for customization and exclusivity, inspiring a new generation of boutique hypercar makers to pursue individuality instead of mass production. What makes all these cars truly special is not just their speed or rarity, but the ripple effect they created. Every era produces a few machines daring enough to challenge conventions. Some aim for speed, others for beauty, and some for technological revolution. Together, they shape the direction of the entire industry, inspiring engineers and dreamers alike. As we move toward an electric and increasingly digital future, the definition of a supercar will continue to evolve. Yet the core idea remains the same: to push beyond what seems possible. The next world-changing supercar could come from a famous brand or a startup working in a small workshop somewhere. It might be powered by batteries, hydrogen, or something we haven't even imagined yet. But if history teaches us anything, it's that one bold idea can change everything.